just sit down.
And is that not an offense worthy of death?
The freer the wine flows, the more pompous they become. They're beginning to imagine themselves as equals to King Xerxes.
It is the king's own fault. Stuffing them with food, drowning them in wine, spoiling them with constant entertainment.
Take care what you say, little ones.
Oh, the walls have
So
ears.
your own heads could roll for criticizing the omnipotent.
He is too drunk to notice. Oh, give me the ladle.
Do not let your weariness turn you into fools. Now, all of you, hush.
Listen, girls, we've all been dancing enough to polish the floors of 100 banquet halls.
We all deserve water.
And more.
Yeah,
When will this end?
This has got to be the longest celebration of all times. Who ever heard of a 6-month-long festival?
Not me.
The king is excessive if he is anything.
Oh, if God, if I do not get a break soon, I will die. How many routines have we come up with? How many new dances to please and delight His Royal Highness? He needs to get the best talent tuned up and finished.
Yes, someone without bandages all over.
Oh, you poor
Breathe.
News! Such news!
Make him go away!
Gather around, my little stuffed dates.
Make him stop.
Guess what news I bear? Oh, you'll never guess. Oh, this is much too good for my little jewels. Whoops. Anyway, guess. Come on, gather.
What kind of news could possibly be welcome after all these months of torture?
Oh, let me guess. The king wants another encore.
Another encore! Yay, let me get right.
No, sillies. Such news like this only comes once in a lifetime. It's unheard of. Never before in all my years of service have I heard such news decreed. Now come on, guess!
Do not tease the girls. Can't you see they're exhausted?
I do not care what it is. I am through. Behead me now.
Oh, dear, don't talk like that, please.
The party is over. That's it. The party is over. The king is so delighted with you that he has ordered. Oh, I feel a little. Oh, fan me.
Quickly, get him.
Oh, give me water.
Hurry. Faster.
The king has ordered a week-long banquet for you. For me. To say thank you for all these last 6 months. You've gone beyond the call of duty, even in the service of the omnipotent King Xerxes. This is indeed a precedent. Never has a king ordered a banquet in favor of his servants. And in the presence of all those princes, too. Oh, we'll have the finest delicacies, the best wines. I do hope it is in the East Wing. Oh, the breeze blows so gently through the colonnades. Oh, the colors in the tapestry are just most delightful. Oh, no! What will I wear? Oh! Persia!
To war!
To war!
To the 127 provinces!
Yes!
May the gods smile upon the reign of our omnipotent ruler. Oh! May the stars be aligned in his majesty's favor. May the open... Yes, Martina! To power!
To power!
To Darius! May he live forever!
Yes! King Darius was a great king. And surely he lives on through his benevolent son, the great and mighty King Xerxes!
It is not enough. These are my closest and dearest friends. I have done so little for them.
But sire, surely you realize the highlight this banquet has been for your subjects?
Yes.
Why, no king has ever shown such honor to the princes. Why, they have partaken of the finest wines and rarest delicacies in the world. Their accommodations have been luxurious. You've bestowed on them royal gifts, shown them your treasures, yet you wish to do more?
Oh, but such is the nature of His Majesty's generous spirit and such a waste for these uncivilized potentates.
No, no, no. I have been selfish. I have withheld my greatest treasure. This will be the perfect climax to end our festivities. Bigtha!
Yes, sire.
You are to bring my queen here to the banquet hall. I desire that all may behold her great beauty.
Your Majesty, shall we think this through? According to time-honored tradition, this would be a first. And furthermore, it is against the law, for no man, apart from the Emperor himself, is permitted to gaze upon the Queen.
My child, that you question my orders.
No, sire, not a child.
Bigtha, fetch her as I have commanded.
But, Your Majesty, what shall I say?
Is Persian your second language? Say, your king orders you to appear at the royal banquet. And tell her to wear the new crown.
Oh, yes, Lord. The crown. Yes, Lord.
Yes, sire.
Oh, I am doomed. Doomed. When she says no, oh, I am doomed.
The costumes, the festivities, it was all so glorious. But that is not all. There is more.
More?
How dare you enter my chambers? I do not wish to be disturbed. Now, as I was saying, the new palace was finally completed, and I was choosing... What? Why have you not departed?
Your Majesty, I...
Have we been invaded by the Greeks? Has our wine supply dwindled? What could possibly be so urgent that you insist upon disturbing me?
Your Majesty, the king. The king has a request.
Ladies, I must go, soothe my husband's soul. He has quite a need for me.
He wants her, he needs her.
Perhaps while I'm away, my dancers will display something fit for royalty. In the chambers of the king, he will love me as his queen.
But it wasn't in his chambers, my lady, if you please.
Where are we to meet? In the gardens by the pools. He's always loved our rendezvous.
How lovely, romantic.
In the stillness of the night, moonlight all around. How could anyone refuse?
How romantic would it be? The king, he meets his queen.
Excuse me, but the king wishes for the queen to parade her royal beauty at the banquet.
And don't forget the crown.
That crown? Have you seen that crown?
Honey, what a sense of humor. Not like my innocent sovereign day.
You misunderstand. The king, he has a plan to end the feast in royal celebration. No eye has ever seen the beauty of the queen. She's the crowning apex of his banquet.
What? How dare he? Who does he think he is? Am I some peasant off the street that he thinks he can parade me? What about the law? My blood is as royal as his own. A possession? Something to be shown? What disgrace that a flock of drunken men should leer and lust after the queen. I will not have it. Shall I uncover my face?
Just imagine the scandal, the gossip, the rumors, what shame.
And that crown so gaudy and heavy, he must be kidding
not a joke. If you say no, I choke. Your refusal means the end of me.
Better yours than mine, new eunuchs I can find. My honor is at stake, you see. Tell the king I refuse to dishonor him by displaying myself before his drunken lords and breaking the law. I send my answer in one word. No.
My head! My head! This will be the end of Bigtha. The king will not be refused graciously. Remember what happened to Zigthar when he returned empty-handed. Oh, I'm doomed.
Well, we all feel badly for you, Bigtha, but you have lived a full life. You will be missed.
It's true. Harbona. Harbona! No. The king loves you. He needs you. You're irreplaceable. Harbona, the king would never dream of killing you. You go, Harbona. True, but you are the one he called. But he will not remember it was I whom he called. But with the wine and the excitement, you go, Harbona.
No. What about Haytek? He always makes the king laugh. Perhaps he could distract the king from this foolishness, maybe?
No, I couldn't. All those men, I'm not dressed right. I would disgrace our kind.
Why don't we just draw straws for it? We'll let the fates decide.
Good idea. An excellent idea, hey guy. Here. Everybody take one. Short one. Out. Oh. You are the one. Then my fate is sealed.
Be strong.
Poor thing. I'm coming, Mother. Who is Vashti that she dare defy the great Xerxes? Oh, cursed be the day she was born. May she never bear children. May her teeth fall out. May people hide from the sight of her awful visage. Here am I, to be dishonored by a woman. You. It was your responsibility to carry out my commands. You have failed. You will die. Sire, guards, remove him. Sire, I tried. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy. No. You. What are you looking at? Perhaps you would like to join this fool.
O worthy master, wisest of all kings, this offense was not against you only.
Shethar is right. Vashti has given example for all women to dishonor their husbands.
What shall be done to the queen who dares defy me? What does the law say?
Unprecedented. I am searching. This is a bad omen. Why did I not see it coming?
Oh, be done with this. Show your subjects you'll not tolerate treason. Vashti must die.
No, let's not get carried away. I remember when Darius...
Vashti has spoken by her actions and must be answered for all to see. Let her be stripped of her crown.
Yes. Let her position be given to another, more worthy than she.
Yes. Out of the way,
Out
scum.
of the way.
Provincial rubbish.
Can you answer a few questions about Queen Vashti? Where's she?
All bow down before the great and mighty, most omnipotent, holy revered, highest of all potentates, ruler of the Persian Empire, our Lord King Darius!
King Xerxes of Persia! Your Majesty, as you requested, the scribes and messengers of the city of Shushan.
The purpose of this gathering is to inform the princes and subjects of all 127 provinces of the king's new decree.
You!
Your Majesty, is it true that Queen Vashti has disobeyed you?
That is absolutely true. It's a direct insult to our benevolent ruler. Yes. You!
What was the nature of the king's request?
The king had devised a unique finale to his 6-month-long festivities. He had requested
Queen Vashti appeared before him and the 127 princes in the royal banquet hall, wearing her new crown. Well, who's next?
Vashti's actions were viewed as reprehensible, not only to the king personally, but to all men of the kingdom.
You had your hand up, I saw you. What's your question?
Does the law not say no man shall behold the queen?
Law! I am the law. See this ring? This is the law. See this throne? This is my chair. And from this chair I issue rules and laws and edicts that will be obeyed. How dare you question my authority? He will die! Guards, remove him! I will have a new queen. She will obey me. She will not question me. And she will be thankful to carry out the desires of the most powerful king on earth.
Xerxes! Yes, sir.
Well, are there any more questions? We must conduct a thorough search for the most worthy virgins of the kingdom. The king will not be hurried in this matter. No amount of effort or expense shall be spared.
And let this edict be spread throughout the provinces in every language. Vashti is forever banished. Banished! Another queen more worthy than she shall be chosen. Yes. And lastly, every man is to rule his household and exert his authority.
Yes.
Well spoken, well spoken.
Cheese looks divine. I will be back later when I've made up my mind. Today is Father's birthday. I want to make the perfect feast. I'm going to surprise him, for he deserves the finest meat. Good morning, Leah. Have you had any breakfast today? Here, take this. And here is some for your mother. Is she feeling any better? Tell her I will come and visit tomorrow, and I will bring her something hot and delicious to eat, all right?
She's always so thoughtful, so caring and kind. She loves the little children, so often you will find. She never takes advantage, she gives food to the needy ones. I wish my girls were like her, I'd like to have her.
I will take 2 of these and a bunch of these. And can you tell me where to find the freshest, most succulent leg of lamb in the market?
What is the occasion? Perhaps a young man?
No. Today is my father's birthday, and only the finest will do.
I want it. I saw it first.
I will sell it to whoever I wish.
But you promised it to me.
You cannot throw me around, Haman.
I was first to claim this land. I offered the price you were asking. Who is this Jew who takes what is mine? I'll make you pay if it's the last thing I ever do.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't be pushing me like that. It's not right, Haman.
Get him out of here.
Is she okay? I thought I was doing this stuff. needs to move out of town. You guys are right.
The sons of Haman are like him. I think that they're even worse. They're trying to buy up the whole town. Sounds to me like a curse. May his pockets have holes and his money fall out. May his wineskins burst on his brand new rug. May his crops wither up and his sheep get blight. May he get a bad west where the sun don't shine.
Amen. I wonder what Mordecai thinks of all this. I think I'll go ask him.
How many, good lady, how much for your time? The king will like these colors, your workmanship is fine. And how may I help you, dear friend, won't you tell? You look a little worried, I hope that all is well.
It's just that dirty Haman, he wants my land and threaten me. I've come in search of justice, can anything be done for me?
Why, if I had a shekel for every complaint about Haman, I'd be sitting on a small mountain. Not to disregard your injustice, Eli, I will put in a good word for you. Seems that Haman has made a career of troubling us. He is a powerful and wealthy man.
Good morning, dear father.
Hadassah, what brings you to the marketplace?
Don't ask me what I'm doing. You have to wait and see.
I'll be home right when I'm done at the market.
Don't hurry. I have lots of work to do. Shalom.
That girl, she is something.
A new edict from the king? Ahmad! Ahmad! Ahmad!
I'm coming. What is so urgent? It's a new edict from the king.
Read it!
Well, make way, please. A royal edict of King Xerxes proclaiming a law of the Medes and Persians which can never be changed. Queen Vashti is forever banished.
What happened, Ahmad? I'll wager she was unfaithful. She probably wandered out of the harem, if you know what I mean.
If you'll listen, let me read it, I will. Now, yes, husbands must rule their homes and assert their authority. Wives are commanded to respect and obey. Virgins from every province are being sought to replace the queen.
So the king is looking for a new queen? Well, he can't have my Sarah.
Well, I agree.
What did Vashti do to deserve this? How humiliating.
You idiots, it's obvious what has happened. Little deductive reasoning, which I'm sure you're all sadly lacking, will easily point to the real cause. First of all, the king is furious.
What else is news?
Vashti set him off. Why else would he command that women obey and men rule? You know what? I'll tell you what really happened.
Oh, how do you know?
Just getting lost in
You think you're so smart.
Probably just being rebellious.
Just because you learned how to
don't wanna
read,
know,
well,
then
we
I
could have
won't tell
learned how to
you
read if
after
we
all.
weren't busy raising families and
right.
tending crops. That's right. We could have all done that.
Thank you, Huldah.
Oh, do not thank me, my lord. Hadassah planned and prepared the entire feast.
Why, that was delicious. You are becoming quite the hostess. But I think I ate far too much. I'm about to burst. I suppose there is such a thing as being too delicious.
Nobody forced you, Father. I just wanted this day to be very special for you.
Well, indeed it has, thanks to you. Shall we continue our studies on such an auspicious occasion?
I certainly hope so.
Where were we in our lessons?
Right here. God tells Saul to destroy the Amalekites.
Read the account.
Now, go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not. But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. Father, why would God command that innocent children and animals be destroyed?
Do you remember what happened when the Israelites failed to completely destroy the Canaanites when they first came into the Promised Land?
Their sin infected the entire Israelite camp.
That's right. Now read on. Did Saul fulfill God's will?
No. It says he captured Agag, the king of the Amalekites, and saved the best of the spoil. It says he destroyed only what was utterly worthless or of poor quality.
Read on. And what was the price Saul paid for his partial obedience?
You ask difficult questions, Father. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as bad as worshiping idols. And now, because you've rejected the word of Jehovah, he has rejected you from being king. Saul was rejected as king.
And we are still feeling the consequences of Saul's disobedience.
What do you mean?
The descendants of Agag, whom Saul was to have destroyed, continue to trouble the Jews. Why, just today I had another run-in with that Haman, who proudly boasts of his Agag heritage. Again, he tried to harass Eli just because he's a Jew. He continually makes threats. He can be a dangerous man.
So you're saying that because Saul failed, God's command is still unfulfilled, and their influence has been a curse on Israel ever since. That is why he commanded that every trace of that evil people be destroyed.
Father in heaven, how is it that I have been blessed with such a wonderful girl? You have grasped a very difficult concept, Hadassah. I'm proud of you. You have done exceptionally well on your lessons. And that meal was delicious. Where did you get fresh figs this time of the year? And that lamb, I've never tasted such savory meat. Tell me, how did you prepare it?
That is my secret. Surely you do not think I would divulge it, even to you, dear Father. It was the least I could do for you on your birthday. And what makes you think I do not have sources beyond your great sphere of influence? Today, as I was shopping, I met the sweetest little boy. He was so cute. He had a dark head of hair, lots of freckles, and he walked with a limp. But when I looked in his eyes, there was such depth. He had compassion, some understanding. It was all in his eyes. Anyway, he's the one who told me where to find the fresh figs. Father, what is bothering you?
Why do you ask that?
Well, for one thing, you've twisted your beard into an awful knot.
Oh, you read me like a scroll. You are becoming a capable and intelligent young woman. Nothing gets past your perceptive eye.
Did you say young woman? Why, Father, how is it that I am now a young woman and not just your little girl?
I've been noticing your beauty, and it frightens me.
Why should you be frightened?
You have heard of the king's edict.
Of course, who has not heard? But surely that does not affect us. We are Jews.
Every beautiful young virgin in the kingdom is affected. No one is exempt.
You cannot be serious. Well, they do not want me. I'm just plain and simple.
Plainly beautiful and simply flawless. Two very good reasons for me to be worried.
Father, they're looking for exotic beauties from other lands.
Hadassah, you must not go out. And if you do, I want you to cover yourself completely.
I will faint in this heat. Besides, I'm telling you, nobody even notices me. But if it will make you happy, of course I will obey.
Hadassah, do you know what happens to the girls that are chosen? Do you know what a harem is?
Of course. The place where the girls all live together with fine furnishings, rich foods, beautiful new clothes, servants, jewels, games.
And my Hadassah, do you know how the girls are chosen?
For their looks, I assume. They stand in a line, and the king chooses the loveliest and places the crown on her head.
And then?
Then she becomes his wife in a big, fantastic ceremony, and she is queen forever after.
And
unless she disobeys like that proud Vashti.
Yes. And do you know what it means to be married?
Oh, that. Huldah told me about that ages ago, about babies. Yes, of course I do.
And did you know that the virgins, when they're chosen, are taken under the care of a eunuch for a year? Do you know what a eunuch is?
Father.
Okay, just checking. Anyway, they're bathed and oiled and perfumed and pampered in preparation for the king.
I could do that.
And then each girl in turn goes to the king for a night.
So he can see her better?
No, so he can lie with her.
Lie with her? Before he marries her?
Yes, and he will probably only choose the one he's going to marry to be the queen, but he may have more than one wife. That is the Persian way.
What happens to them after that one night?
They go to the house of concubines.
If they are not his wives, what are they?
They are his mistresses. They have no rights, and if the king wants to see them, he just calls for them again.
Any time? Whether they liked him or not? Whether they want to or not?
Yes.
Suppose he never sends for them again.
They go on living in the house.
With no husband? No children forever?
That's right.
Are you trying to tell me that I could be taken for this contest and end up in that house of concubines, never able to see you again?
I pray that that never happens, but you must understand that it could.
Never! I would run away first.
Oh, yes, and you know what happens to the families of those girls who defy the king? They are tortured to death.
What will I do? Father, what can I do?
Do you think there's any way, or place or scheme that I have not thought of to keep you safe? Listen carefully, my daughter. This thing may never happen. It may be God's mercy that you are spared. But in the event that you are chosen, you must behave as a princess. And if you are taken into the king's house, I want you to go trusting in the Lord God Almighty, who will go with you as he went into the fiery furnace with the 3 Israelites in Babylon. Do you remember? And what did the pagan king say that he saw in the fire with the 3 men?
He saw a 4th figure.
And what did he say about that 4th figure?
He said he saw one like the Son of God. I won't go!
Hadassah, that same 4th figure will go with you, if it be God's plan. You will not go alone, for whatever is to be is in God's all-knowing will. Now, you go on up to bed, and I'll come and tuck you in, like I did when you were a child. Huldah, is there anything you could do to make her more plain, less attractive?
I can try, my lord. I can cover her hair, take away her jewelry, dress her in plain clothing. But her beauty, master, it is not something that comes from outward adornment. It comes from within.
Frightened little child with sadness in her eyes, stripped of every comfort she had ever known. I took her in 'cause no one else was there for her. How can I be all that she will need? Now that I look back, I see your perfect plan, and everything that happened was guided by your hand. Now once again I'm standing here in need of you. You are all that she will ever need. Shelter and look after her, keep her safe from harm. She's so innocent and pure, won't you hold her in your arms? She's the joy of my life, she's a gift from you. Treasure of my heart. Her laughter and her smile brought light into my life, but now I can't imagine what life would be without her. Lord, if it's your will that she be chosen, let them see her just the way you do. Shelter and look after her, keep her safe from harm. She's so innocent and pure, won't you hold her in your arms? She's the joy of my life, she's a gift from you. Treasure of my heart, she's the joy of my life, she's a gift from you. Treasure of my heart.
Invited to leave in the middle of a court session? Who is this Haman? Where did he come from and what's his training?
He has no training. He's filthy rich. I heard he inherited all of his money. He has purchased his influence with the king. Xerxes has been bought, and he doesn't even know it.
So, does anyone know anything about this Haman?
No. Just talking.
No.
Came out of nowhere, if you ask me.
He did.
I remember him Darius' court.
You don't remember it.
A man named Damon. You think there's any relation to this new fella?
Damon? Haman? Oh, this does not bode well. It is a bad omen. I feel very badly about this Haman. For once, Karshina, I think you may be right.
I think he is.
Well, I know one thing. It has never been recorded that the High Council was excused in the middle of a court session.
Never.
King Xerxes is proving to be the most unconventional king in history. He changes ancient customs without a thought. I am wondering how long I will be needed as master of protocol.
Good. The king's relationship keeps up with Haman as it has. All of our relationships will, Jeff. I don't like this Haman. I don't trust him. I've heard many unsavory things. You can bet he has an agenda and
Perhaps we should warn the king.
and lose our heads.
Virgins, virgins, virgins. I'm going to have to acquire more help just to manage them all. It has been a good 6 months now since the girls have been going into the king, and he still has not chosen a queen.
He's already seen all the girls from the privileged families. Now he must begin showing the common breed girls.
Yes, and that makes our job all the more difficult.
I tell you, I'm overwrought. Some of these girls are so uncultured. Why, some refuse to bathe. Can you imagine? A year is too short for the preparation they require. I have my work cut out for me this time.
Yes, I know what you mean. Some of their customs are repulsive. They are far from what the king will accept.
It's true.
I would send a good many of them right back to where they came from, but
Well, now that
Now
they are here,
yes, we must magically transform them from cows to gazelles.
Yes. Oh my.
Hopeless.
And even those gazelles are sometimes nothing more than a pretty package with nothing on the inside.
Ah, you're referring to Arya. Well, we all thought she'd be the next queen.
Yes, beauty can sometimes be a hindrance. Like prosperity, it can breed shallowness and false security. I should never have put so much stock in her, but she was the most likely candidate at the time.
We had very little to work with besides a lovely shell.
I should have known by the way the other girls responded to her that she was trouble.
Well, we're all a little wiser for having traveled that road. Perhaps we'll have better success with these new girls.
How many of your new charges show any potential?
Oh, let's see. There's the twins from Parthia, and there's that beauty from Egypt. Oh, and she's a little thin, but, you know, oh, wait, does she have a temper? Then there's that chubby little cherub from Cush. Put that one on a diet.
Good.
Other than that, those are the only promising ones I have from the new batch. What about yourself?
Well, there is a new group in from the south, but there's nothing of interest there, though. I know King Xerxes, and none of these will appeal to him. There is one, though. There's a girl from right here in Shushan who is a rare peach. The soldiers almost missed her. She was dressed so plainly and covered from head to foot. Those veils aroused their curiosity. And one sight of her, and they snatched her right up. Her name, Hadassah, has got to go.
Yes.
But everything else reeks of promise. I think that I will call her Star, because that's exactly what she is, a bright and shining star.
I told her not to go out at all, and if she did, to cover herself completely.
Oh, it is all my fault, my lord. If it were not for this horrible limp, I could have gone to the market myself.
Oh, do not chide yourself. You and I both know how anxious she was to get out. She loved every opportunity to get to the marketplace and see her friends. Lord knows she had a friend on every corner.
I made sure she was covered before she went out. I do not know how they saw her.
Eli was there. He said the guards ripped her veil and made a spectacle of her. It's certainly a good thing that I wasn't there, because I would have been arrested. How dare they? But I can only think that God must have had his hand in all of this. We'd taken every precaution to protect her.
How can you say God's hand is in this? Our home is dark and empty without her, and she is in the hands of heathen.
I am sick about this too, but I believe that God is the master of our destiny. He has allowed this to take place. He will be with her.
What about the Sabbath? How will she worship on the Sabbath?
I specifically instructed her to tell no one that she was a Jew. She will keep the Sabbath in her heart. And God will hear her prayers.
Oh, this is not at all how I pictured her life. And Aaron will be heartbroken. He had his heart set on her.
What young man didn't have his heart set on Hadassah?
Can you believe we've been here a whole year?
I did not think I would miss my family and friends so much. It is not at all what I dreamed it would be.
Remember the lovely fantasy it seemed to be before it was a reality?
I was so excited about not having chores, being waited on hand and foot, living in luxury.
The baths, perfumes, delicious foods.
But I miss home. I never dreamed I would miss my vexatious little brothers and sisters so much. I miss belonging to a family.
You know what I do when I'm missing home? I go out into the garden, and I look up in the heavens, and I send my prayers to God for my father. And I know he's doing the same.
Esther, I wish I had your faith. What would I have done this past year without you? What will happen when one of us is taken? The time is fast approaching. I do not want it to be me, and I could not bear the loneliness if it were you.
I dread the thought of being taken before the king. They say he is so harsh and evil-tempered.
Have you ever seen him?
Just from afar. When he and Queen Vashti were married, there was a processional. What a display.
He's probably older than my father, and more abusive. Why, just last week he had a slave beheaded only because he spilled the king's wine. Esther, I am so scared. What do you think the king is looking for in his queen?
You have to wonder. Surely beauty is not the only quality, or Arya would be queen. Born of nobility and so beautiful, cultured and well taught.
Oh, I only met her once or twice. She seemed very taken with herself. She thought she was a goddess. Nobody liked her. She would have been another Vashti.
Haggai said she was given every advantage. I do not think she realized how much he invested in her.
I doubt she cared. She scarcely listened to a word he said.
What do you suppose Arya's doing now?
Wasting away in the house of concubines? Or at least one of us will be if we're not chosen.
The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, Rasa. And so was our fate. So let's not worry about it. Do you suppose Haggai's hidden any more of those honeyed figs in his quarters? We could sneak over and see.
He hates it when we find those. You know, I believe he counts them. Let's go.
Hello, Esther. Rasa. Esther, were you able to repair that rip in my silk sash?
Yes. It is as good as new.
Oh, thank you. I cannot even see where it ripped. You were an angel. Wait, what are you two up to?
Oh, we were just about to go raid Haggai's honeyed fig stash.
No, without me, you don't.
Let's go, come on.
Oh!
And just what is so funny?
Oh, nothing, my dear Haggai. It is just funny that you should appear right at this moment.
Is that why my ears were burning? No, not you, my sweet. There is something I need to talk to you about.
Does that mean we should leave?
Indeed it does. Now off with you. Shoo. Guess who is in an exceptionally good mood tonight?
Well, surely not Bindi. He ran through here a few moments ago, soaking wet and yelling at anyone in his path. It seems he fell into the very bath he was preparing for those feisty girls from Mesopotamia.
Yes, those girls never have liked bathing. Esther, look at me, dear.
What are you so very grave about, Haggai? It's not like you.
Tonight, Esther, you will meet your king. When His Majesty is in a good mood, it is important that we take full advantage of the situation. This is the moment we have been waiting for.
Did you hear? Esther's going to the king tonight. Right! Esther, you're going to be so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Tonight. Yes, thank you, girls. That will be all. Enough of this silliness. Have you not got anything else to do? Now go. 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 Oh, I have grown so fond of you, Esther. I will miss you.
But tonight? I never dreamed. Do you...
Calm yourself, my dear. Trust me. You do trust me and know how much I care for you. How we all have grown to love you, Esther. Tonight is your special night. You are ready, regardless of how you feel. During these past months, we have made you into a princess. Just remember your training.
I'm so nervous. I fear that I might faint or disgrace myself.
Child, I will be with you every step of the way. I will prepare you and take you to the king myself.
How soon? Is there time for me to be alone just for a moment?
Of course. I will return for you in a little while.
Lord my God, you have been with me. Please go with me now. I need your strength. Can you calm my trust in you, God. Help me now. Lord my God, you have been with me. Please go with me now. I need your strength. I can feel you near. I can feel your peace. Please go with me now. I need your strength. Please go with me now. I need your strength.
Are you ready? We have much to do to prepare. Come.
I am ready.
Grand Vizier? Since when do we need a Grand Vizier?
I do not recall Darius ever appointing a Grand Vizier, or any Vizier for that matter.
That Haman hurls one more insult than me. So we no longer have a Grand Vizier to contend with.
Put that thing away.
I don't understand it either. But if the king sees a need, I think we should swallow our pride and support him in this matter. After all, that is our first duty.
I agree our first duty to King Xerxes is loyalty in all his decisions. But I'm convinced that Haman is deceiving you. I've had too many reports of his unscrupulous behavior.
I have studied the numerology of Haman, and I've discovered that he's profoundly wicked. Never have I seen such evil. It is almost as though he were the spawn of the evil one himself.
Karshina, you do not need magic to see the wake of destruction that follows Haman. The sudden disappearance of certain Jewish merchants in the marketplace. The recent amassing of large quantities of land and possession by Haman's family. And the law he just passed against having compassion to beggars are just a few of the things we can thank this Haman for.
One need only spend an afternoon in the marketplace to see the impending doom that surely will come with this Haman as second in command. I don't like him.
No. No, Grand Vizier. No Vizier at all. What is a Vizier? Hey!
This is your special night, Esther. You may choose anything you wish. We have fine silken gowns, headdresses, jewels, perfumes, ointments.
I can't. Not tonight, Haggai. You choose for me. I will trust your judgment.
Truly, are you certain?
Yes.
You will go with Leon and prepare yourself while I choose your attire. Go and leave everything to me, my sweet.
Thank you, Haggai.
What are you doing among the gods? Have your servants deserted you?
Tonight is a very special night. I must personally attend to Esther. She has asked me to choose her attire, and I know exactly what will please His Majesty.
You are so lucky. No one has ever asked me to pick out her gown before. Instead, they all come in here thinking they know more about what the king likes than I do. We're talking fashion nightmares. Too much jewelry, too much perfume, and makeup like harlots. And the gaudy gowns they choose, why, the last one looked like a gilded ostrich by the time she was done. I was so embarrassed, I refused to escort her from the dressing chambers.
That reminds me. Do you remember the feather-cover maiden who thought she could sing?
Yes.
She had to be taken by force from the king's chambers. She did not last even one turn of the water. She continued singing all the way down the corridor, leaving a trail of feathers and telling us, "Come with me, please."
Oh, stop! Surely you exaggerate.
I assure you, I do her kindness. Not only is my song sweeter, but my carriage and my attire are much more appealing.
Well, what do you expect from peasants with no education?
True.
A year only scratches the surface of the re-educating and refinement they will require. Esther is wise to leave these decisions to me. I have a lifetime of experience in the ways of the courts. I think this will suit her perfectly.
Yes, keep it simple. In her case, you could never improve upon nature.
Yes. She is the kind of girl who makes a eunuch wish she were not a eunuch, no? I will want to see the finished product.
Hey, guy. You personally escorted your charge tonight? And what is so special about her that she deserves this great honor?
Sire, allow me to introduce to you Esther.
My lord.
So this is what the Master Haggai finds worthy of his personal attention. Well done. Yes, indeed. Leave us. Esther. Star. You are my star for tonight. Come. I will be good to you. I promise you that. Do you believe me?
I do not know, sire. But I am sure that if my lord the king says he will be, he will be. The king of all peoples would not lie.
Smart girl. So tell me about yourself, Esther.
Do you want to hear the truth? Or do you want to hear what I've been instructed to say?
Instructed to say? You mean they supply you with a script as well as a lovely gown?
Forgive me, my lord. I should not speak so freely.
No, I should like very much to hear what you have been instructed to say. Then I would like very much to hear the truth. We'll judge which I like better.
Please do not misunderstand. Haggai and the others wish only the best for all of us. And above all, your happiness is their utmost concern. They mean well, really.
Quit apologizing and get on with it. You have piqued my curiosity.
Very well. It goes something like this. I was born to the Lord Marduk in Aram. I grew up along the Euphrates River. My pets were tigers and monkeys. My tutors instructed me in the ways of medicine, art, all manner of musical instruments, singing and dance. My hair reached past my height because my dear mother refused to allow it to be cut. When I came to the palace, they decided it was too exotic for your taste, and they cut it. I have been the object of my parents' adoration, sheltered and protected from any outside influence. This is my first home away from home. That is all. How did I do?
That sounds like many stories I have heard. Only I was not aware they were all fantasies. Those clever eunuchs. So they think they have me figured out, do they? Now let me hear the true story of Esther.
Are you sure? I'm afraid it's not nearly as intriguing.
You have no idea how intrigued I am. Please continue.
Well, first of all, my name is not Esther. It is Hadassah. I was raised by my father right here in Shushan. My pets were Emir and Vazda, common house cats. My tutor was my father, when he had time after our evening meals. He taught me how to read in 2 languages.
To read?
And to play the lute. I learned the art of spinning and weaving from our maid, Huldah. I was far from sheltered. You see, Huldah had a painful limp, which required me to do most of the shopping and errands. Shall I go on?
Oh, please do. But let me ask you this. Your real life is much less glamorous than the fantasy they have concocted. Do you feel you have been deprived?
Deprived? No. My life has been full of the simplest but richest pleasures. Have you ever smelled jasmine soap as it is being poured into molds? Or fresh bread on the streets early in the morning? The marketplace. My lord, have you ever been to the marketplace?
The marketplace?
No, I do not suppose you would have. The smells, sounds, and sights of the marketplace are positively invigorating.
In the marketplace?
It is the center of Shushan. You will hear the latest gossip and politics, keep up with every bit of news from the farmer to the foreign merchants to the beggars.
You associated with beggars?
They are people with families, like we are. The loss of a limb, or a parent, or a parcel of land is all that separates us from their same fate.
Incredible. The marketplace is all that.
It is the place where our lives meet. Different cultures and religions and languages come together to form a common bond. We work together, cry together. And you have never laughed so hard as when Omar the butcher imitates the old women haggling over the price of meat. Or heard Arius, the flute carver, doing bird calls for the little children. If they guess which bird he is imitating, he will toss them a sweet.
You sound like a little more than a street urchin yourself.
As fond as I am of the marketplace, home is where I became the person I am. My favorite memory of all was arguing deep points of the law with Father after supper. The look in his eye told me I had won the debate, and he would be aggravated and proud, all at the same time. How he loved me. Each night I could see the stars from my bedroom window and hear the crickets chirping in Hulda's garden. I consider myself blessed to have had a life so full and to have been loved by so many.
That does sound nice. And very different from any story I have ever heard.
So, which would you choose to be the best?
I am not accustomed to one speaking with such passion. I am used to beautifully dressed maidens who say and do whatever I wish. They have no thoughts of their own.
I'm sorry, my lord, I have overstepped my bounds. Please forgive me. I must be a great disappointment to you.
No. You surprised me. And I like that. Come, rub my neck. I want to relax.
May I begin with your feet, my lord?
I said my neck. Will you contradict me?
Please do not misunderstand. But I happen to know that if I begin with your feet, you will experience much more pleasure and relaxation. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Father used to love when I would massage his weary feet after a long day at work.
Yes, indeed.
So tell me about yourself. What do you love? What are your passions?
Why, I command this vast empire.
And you command it superbly, my lord. But what makes you happy?
Happy? Then why would the king not be happy? All the world is at my command.
Who do you talk to when you are sad, or confused, or want to share a great joy?
I talk to whomever I wish, and they do whatever I say. Why do you ask such preposterous questions? Everybody wants to be me.
Indeed, my lord, you are in an enviable position. But who do you share it with? Is that not what makes it all worthwhile? Having someone to share your dreams with?
Does she truly care for me? It seems as though she does. She's so different in so many ways, unlike all the rest.
So different than expected. He's gentle and he's kind. Lord, I thank you for your help. Let your will be mine.
someone.
She's someone I could love. Are you asking whether anyone knows or cares what is in my heart?
Yes. That is what I'm asking.
Do you think that the king of all the earth needs someone to understand him?
Especially the king of all the earth.
He's someone.
She's someone I could love. You are remarkable. I present to you your new queen.
Prepared for you, and upon your first night with the king, chosen to be the new queen of Persia? Oh, how romantic. What a life. If anyone deserves this honor, Esther does. Her reputation shines as bright as she does. She is said to be as kind as she is beautiful. See, girls? The source of true beauty comes from within.
All I know is that this festival was elegant, lavish, extravagant.
Yes.
And no expenses were spared to make this the finest celebration of all time.
Yes.
Oh, my cousin was given gold bracelets, and she was just standing in the street as the processional went by.
Wow. I have never enjoyed such rich food in all my life. And these are just the leftovers.
I wish I were Esther.
Do not forget, along with great honor comes grave responsibility. Being queen is not without its dangers. Remember Vashti, girls.
Oh, Zunia, so prone to look on the dark side. Esther will not only survive, she will shine.
And from now on, her life will be enchanted.
She has completely tamed the king. He hasn't had anyone beheaded since he met her.
Wow. Long live Queen Esther!
Long live Queen Esther!
I have an urgent message for the Queen.
Shall I deliver the message for you?
No, it is critical. I must see her personally.
Whom shall I say is requesting the Queen's presence?
Mordecai, Chief Accountant of the Royal Treasuries.
I will see what I can do, my lord.
All
shall bow down before the great Lord Haman, Grand Vizier of all Persia.
Are you hard of hearing?
The king has declared that all should bow before me.
I heard. I shall bow to no one but the king himself.
We shall see about that.
Father, what are you doing? Get up.
No one must know that we are related. It is well known that I am a Jew. Oh. You are ravishing. It has been much too long since I have seen you, my child. I hardly recognize you now that you are royalty.
I am still your little Hadassah. I'm glad you sent for me. My heart has been aching for you. Are you well?
Besides missing you, I'm fine. Do they treat you well in the palace?
Like a queen. I've made many wonderful friends here, Father. What am I supposed to call you?
Mordecai, that's what everybody else calls me.
Father, Lord Mordecai, how I miss you. I pray for you every day and remember all the wonderful lessons we shared after our evening meals. They have given me the faith to carry on when things seemed impossible. God is so real to me here. There are so many confusing beliefs and practices going on all around me. I've learned to fix my heart on God just to keep my mind in focus.
I'm so proud of you. And you are in my constant prayers. And I have heard nothing but praise for you from my sources, as you used to call them.
How is Huldah?
Oh, she pines away for you, asking daily if I've heard any news of the Queen. Hadassah, I mean Queen Esther, I have some very urgent news for you.
What is it?
Earlier today, I passed by two men, whispering together. They were dressed like guards, royal guards. They were both tall and strong and appeared as though...
Were they dark and bearded?
Yes, yes.
The king's doorkeepers.
You know them then?
They've always made me feel uneasy.
I overheard their conversation. They are plotting against the king, and they plan to kill him this very night. He must be warned.
I will get word to him immediately. Thank you. I must go.
This is my first invitation.
Welcome, everyone, to my humble dwelling. Please be seated and allow my servants to attend to you. You will find the finest Persia has to offer. The wine is the best in the land. I wanted nothing but the choicest for my close friends and trusted associates.
Oh, you are so generous, my husband. Take your seat at the head of the room, serving some wine for the Grand Vizier.
Thank you, my darling. You will sit here next to me.
So, Haman, what's it like to be second in command of all of Persia?
And with the title of Grand Vizier, why, I heard Haman, it was created just for you.
To answer the first question, it is a grave responsibility that I do not at all take lightly. Yet I find it wonderfully challenging and highly fulfilling. As to the title, indeed, it was invented just for me. I guess my talents supersede any one station.
So, I understand you take full advantage of your large network of informants to keep you well posted.
Indeed. My most valuable asset is my thorough knowledge of the workings of the city from top to bottom.
It is a well-known fact that Haman pays quite generously for information, a good source of income for some enterprising individual.
It is no secret that knowledge is power, and I make the best use of it I can. How else would I have landed such a position? I make it a point to be indispensable to His Majesty.
Well, even the Queen is below you in power. Is that not so, darling?
Well, technically, that is correct, but I would never press the advantage.
Oh, nonsense. King Xerxes relies heavily on you for your wisdom and advice, something he would never ask of the Queen. She's merely an ornament to His Majesty's office.
Do not underestimate her powers, Zeresh. He listens to her. She has a profound influence over his thinking. Confidentially, it has made me wonder of his strength of leadership.
Oh, never mind, dear. As long as you are there, no policy will be set without your seal of approval, and this will keep the kingdom running on its proper course. Isn't that so?
That's right.
Actually, we will never be completely on course as long as Jews are allowed to maintain any positions in the city. Need I remind you that they came here as slaves, and now their influence over politics, commerce, education, and land rights is insidious and pervasive. When I have my way about it. But enough talk of those vile Jews. Artabanus, tell us, how are your gold mines panning out?
Very well, thank you. We're expanding to Phoenicia this spring.
Speaking of Phoenicia, I have a trip planned there for this summer. The king wants me to oversee his military as he plans his expansion into Greece. Not that I'm a military man, but my resources will serve me well, as always. And my sons will assist me as well.
Do listen as Haman tells of his trip to Phoenicia this summer.
I shall leave on the 5th day of the month of Nisan. 5 of my sons will accompany me. Ham Bowman, the eldest, will be in charge of the southern provinces. He is a chip off the old block. My 4th born, Hamaya, will be in charge of my vast estate. The 2nd born, Hamiak, will be in charge of the business affairs. Hamandar has become quite the merchant. Everything he touches turns to gold.
You called for me, my queen.
Yes, come in, Haggai. Thank you, girls. You may leave now. I wish to speak with Haggai alone. Haggai, sit here.
It has been a long time, my lady. How may I serve you?
You have always been a special friend to me, Haggai. I feel I can count on you. There is something heavy on my heart. I do not know where to turn.
I am honored that you would confide in me, my lady.
I knew I could trust you, Haggai. I'm almost embarrassed to ask.
Tell me, my dear, what is worrying your pretty little head?
When I first became queen, everything was so perfect. The king and I spent every waking moment together. We shared our deepest thoughts, our dreams. It was wonderful. But lately, I do not know, something has changed.
How long has it been since you have seen the king?
Too long, Haggai. He's not called for me in weeks. I do not know what is wrong. Do you think I could have offended or hurt him in some way? Maybe I have not pleased him. Is he bored with me? Has he been calling in the concubines?
Oh, there, my little star. Do not cry. Oh, you are breaking my heart.
Haggai, what is happening?
Well, you have not been replaced. I am sure that the king has simply been busy with...
With what? Conquering the world? Am I not more important? You know I do not mean that. It's just that lately I've been feeling so insecure. I do not know what to do with myself.
I will investigate the matter for you and make sure that it is simply nothing more than preoccupation. You have no need to fear. You are still the highly esteemed Queen of Persia, adored by all. but none more than the king himself.
Thank you, Haggai. I knew I could count on you for reassurance. I guess I will just go and take another bath. Soak in more oils, in case he decides he actually wants me.
Urgent matter. No. Special urgency. Yes. There's a race of people. A large group of rebellious people. A certain people. A certain people.
The king will see you now.
Get me some wine, eunuch. I've been out here half the morning.
It's imperative that we open up the routes to the south.
Yes, what about it?
My friend Mimikin, we've sent our finest troops there to do just that.
That will be all. Tarsus, inform me as soon as you have an answer. Marcina, I will expect a full report on that issue with the Medes.
Yes, sir.
Harbona, I am famished. I would like pheasant for lunch. Will you see to it?
Yes, my lord.
Hello, my good friend and confidant. It has been a long morning. Will you dine with me?
Thank you, Your Majesty, but there is just one matter of special urgency.
Can't it wait until tomorrow, Haman?
Forgive me, sire, but I fear to put this off would be a grave mistake.
Very well. Out with it.
I've debated whether to bring this matter before you at all, knowing how busy you are with important affairs of state. However...
Yes, Haman, get on with it.
There is a certain people scattered throughout your kingdom. They are increasing in number and influence. They observe their own religious laws and practices. Their customs are different than ours.
My kingdom is vast, and there are many diverse peoples who dwell in it. You know I have never interfered in the private practices of my subjects.
No. I mean, yes, you are well known throughout your kingdom for your great tolerance and understanding. However, these people do not obey you or your laws.
What?
It is true. Rest assured, I have investigated this thoroughly, and I believe we can take care of this matter quickly and efficiently. In fact, if your majesty desires, I will draw up an edict for your approval immediately.
What are you proposing, Haman?
These people should not be allowed to continue. They must be eliminated before their influence permeates any further. And I am willing to put up 10,000 talents of silver for the implementation of this edict.
Do you think this is warranted?
If there were any other way, I would not recommend such drastic measures. I could not be more convinced.
Oh, very well then. If my second in command feels that it is in the best interest of the kingdom, so be it. Keep your money, Haman. Here's my ring to seal it.
As you wish.
Shall we eat?
A new edict to all of Persia. Everyone come, gather, listen. The order has gone out to destroy, kill, and annihilate all Jews by any means possible. This will include young and old, men, women, and little children. You are to plunder their goods on the 13th day of the month of Adar.
My God! My God! Have you forsaken your people? Oh, God.
Annihilate the Jews?
What?
Look what it says.
What is that? Decimate an entire race. Did you know of this? No. How will this be? How could an edict this broad be implemented? How would we even identify who is a Jew and who is not? It is not reasonable that they would willingly identify themselves to their own destruction. Suicide.
This does not sound like Xerxes.
No.
He's known for his tolerance of other races.
This has the smell of Haman all
Yes,
over it.
Haman.
And you know how he hates the Jews.
I did see the king's ring on Haman's finger.
His ring?
What?
His ring?
So that explains the recent flurry of sealed edicts.
As long as I can remember, I've never heard of a king giving his ring to anybody. Darius kept his ring where it belonged, on his own hand.
There was a time we were consulted on every edict. Now we have to join the throng here in the marketplace just to find out what's going on in the kingdom.
Haman's exploits have always been self-serving. But this would result in the death of how many?
Oh, thousands. Tens of thousands. Innumerable.
What does Haman have against the Jews? Besides being wealthy and powerful, you know some of them refused to bow down to him. Do you remember the fit Haman threw when Mordecai, the chief accountant of the king's treasury, refused to bend his knee?
What have we come to? When someone with the stature and integrity of Mordecai is commanded to grovel in the dust before the likes of Haman. Yes, before the likes of Haman.
Haman would sell his own mother for one more parcel of land.
He would.
I do not understand. It is amazing that he would consider the Jews the enemy. They have lived peacefully among us for generations.
I can't understand it. How did Haman come up with such a specific plan for the slaughter of the Jews, right down to the very date?
He would have used the Purim bones.
But of course, only the priests are allowed to toss the dice. No, wait, in matters of state, his advisors would toss the bones, and they would wait until the bones, the star chart, and the calendar coincided to indicate a match.
Oh, it doesn't matter how they chose the date.
A wicked plan.
Your Majesty, may I speak?
Of course, Bindi. What is it?
I have no wish to alarm you, dear Queen, but I've seen your relative Mordecai. He seems as if he's in great distress.
What is it? What's happened? Bindi, what did you see? Is he all right?
He was grieving. He was wearing sackcloth and covered in ashes.
Grieving? Who has died? Bindi, I must see him.
My God, have you forsaken your people?
What has happened? Please bring him to me.
No, I refuse to stop mourning. Disaster has fallen and it is all my fault. I refuse to bow my knee before Haman. I am to blame. If only I had bowed my knee. Oh God, what have I done? Has my pride brought this upon your people?
Father, let me help you. Take these clothes so you may enter the court. Tell me what has happened.
An edict has gone out into the empire that all of the Jews are to be killed on the 13th day of the month Adar.
This is a terrible mistake. My husband could not decree such a thing. Such evil is not part of his nature. Perhaps this was intended for a fierce and cruel enemy threatening our borders.
The queen must know that Haman is behind this, and she must beg the king's mercy to have this edict stopped.
I have not been summoned to the king in over 30 days. No one is allowed to enter the inner court without being called. Surely Father knows that. I will be put to death if the king does not receive me.
Esther must not think that she can escape just because she is in the king's house. But who's to say that she came into the kingdom for such a time as this?
Gather our people, and we will fast and pray. No food or drink for 3 days. Then will I go to the king. And if I perish, I perish. I am not strong, O Lord. I am willing for the sake of my people, but I am just a woman. Please give me courage and favor with the king.
Oh God! What have I done? Oh God! Oh, save your people, oh God! Only you can save
mistress, you cannot go. Surely you will die. Is there no other way?
We have fasted, Leon. And God has heard our prayers. The outcome is in his hands. Of course, I am frightened. But there is no one else. There is no other way. My father says I have come into the kingdom for such a time as this. And if I perish, I perish.
Your Majesty, you do know the penalty.
I know.
What about the Medes?
The Medes came as they came with their diplomats. I cared not for what they had to say. We took their heads.
It's not negotiating when your sword is drawn.
The sword is the best negotiations, Esther. Look, it's Esther. The queen, idiot.
Esther, my queen, what is your request? It shall be given to you, up to half my kingdom.
Yes, my lord.
If it would please you, my lord, I have prepared a feast for you and your servant Haman.
Marcina.
Yes.
Go and get Haman. This is a matter of great urgency. Queen Esther has requested his presence at the banquet hall.
Yes, sir.
These matters of state can wait. What time would you like us there, my star?
Errand boy. I've become an errand boy. I'd sooner surrender on the battlefield than to fetch that strutting peacock for the king.
Put your sword away,
Ah!
Marcina. You will accomplish nothing that way. We're not on the battlefield. We're in the king's court.
Now Esther has taken a fancy to Haman. I certainly didn't see that one coming.
I'm sure
You doddering old fool!
Fool am I?
Yes!
It seems we've all been made fools of. I do not care anymore. Does not matter what we think or do.
Maris is right. We have all lost power and influence in the kingdom.
We have not only lost power and influence, we seem to be losing our mind as well. Madness under duress. Are we going mad, gentlemen? No.
Haman should be here anytime soon. He has invited me. He has instructed me to invite all of you who are dear to his heart to be here when he returns from the palace. I can hardly wait. I wonder what the news. I have no idea. I don't guess that the queen this afternoon. I'm sure it's good news. Haman, dear. So glad to see you.
This is the best day of my life. Friends, family, gather around and hear what has happened to me today. The Queen has invited me to an exclusive banquet with King Xerxes. I do not believe I have ever heard of such an honor being bestowed in all of history.
Did you hear? Did you hear? The king and the queen and my Haman. The three of them are just like this.
And not only that, I'm invited again tomorrow.
I grow faint. Oh, this is too wonderful. Oh.
Surely I have been blessed beyond the measure of all men. Father of 10 sons, owner of a vast estate that stretches toward the horizon. My riches overflow the boundaries of my storehouse. The king has promoted me at every opportunity and chosen me above all men. And now the queen has finally recognized my superiority, my wisdom, my intellect, my physical prowess.
Yes, dear. And now everybody adores you as they should.
Harbona! Harbona!
Yes, my lord.
Fetch the book of records. Read to me. Surely that will put me to sleep.
Yes, yes. Curse it all. That Mordecai, the Jew, he refuses to give me the honor that he knows is due me. Why, it is commanded by law. Something must be done. All of my honors mean nothing as long as Mordecai is allowed to mock me.
Husband, why not have him killed?
A delightful thought, Zeresh. But even I do not have the power of execution. It would require an accusation and witnesses.
A plot to assassinate the king was discovered on the 9th day of Nisan. Bigthana and Teresh, personal bodyguards to the king, were found to be guilty and were executed on the 10th day of the month, Nisan. It was the report of Mordecai, chief treasurer, that alerted the palace to the scheme.
So it was Mordecai who exposed the guard's assassination plot. And what honor did he receive for this?
Well, none, my lord.
None. Are you sure?
I am sure. There's no record of any compensation or reward.
We shall have to do something about that. I will have to think of a special way to reward him. A fitting honor. Maybe now I can get some rest, knowing that there are men like Mordecai in the kingdom. That will be all, Harbona. Good night.
Good night, sire.
One man. One filthy, insignificant little man. He has the impertinence and absolute insolence to insult me. He does not even look up from his tablets as I walk by.
Let a gallows be built. The very fact that he dishonors the edict to bow before you is reason enough to execute him.
Are you hard of hearing? I said it is impossible to kill a prominent man just like that. Besides, I would appear conceited bringing the charge. Mordecai will bow to me.
Yes, you are right. But surely you could contrive a charge. That has never stopped you before.
What hasn't?
Lack of evidence. Invent something. There are many loyal friends that would be willing to lie for you, darling. And then we could hang him tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, Zeresh. Let a gallows be built. And we will be done with that Mordecai once and for all.
Be done with him. Yes, execute him.
My first indication that Mordecai was a traitorous man was that he simply refused to bow before me. I, the second in command of all of Persia. So naturally, I had inquiries made into the depths of his treachery. And when I discovered that not only he was an embezzler, a greedy and deceitful man, but murderous as well, I did the prudent thing. I had a gallows built. Now all I need is the king's seal of approval on the execution. But what if he requires proof of my accusation? I shall say it is a simple matter of deduction. First, grave disrespect to the king's chosen advisor, unscrupulous character, and a murderous past. No, strike that. Blasted Jew, he has no murderous past.
The king will see you, my lord.
Good morning, Your Majesty. I trust you slept well?
Good morning, Haman. Yes. After looking through the records, I realized I am a fortunate man, surrounded by loyal citizens, and I did indeed sleep quite well. Which reminds me, there is a particular matter that must be dealt with.
As a matter of fact, it is out of my undying loyalty to you that I must bring before you an urgent matter.
Of course, Haman, but before I forget, I need your counsel. There is an individual who is deserving of the highest honor. I intend to honor this loyal associate by extolling his deeds for all to see. All in the kingdom must know how the king rewards those whom he deems as trustworthy, those who have proven to be conscientious, noble, virtuous, and brave. How would you suggest such a man be honored?
I have just the way to honor this remarkable man. First, the king's royal robe must be chosen. One that he himself has worn.
How about my purple jeweled robe?
Perfect. I mean, he would look perfect in your purple robe. However, such a man could not be expected to walk.
No, of course not.
He must ride the king's own horse, and the royal crest be placed upon its head.
My own horse?
Naturally, you do want to honor him.
Very well, then. He shall ride upon my own horse.
What was I thinking? It might appear strange to the people if he were alone. They might ask, why is this man on the king's horse? Why is he wearing the king's robe?
Do you have a solution?
One of your most noble princes must be chosen to lead him through the streets, proclaiming, "This is what is done for the man whom the king delights to honor."
Bravo, Haman, and spoken with true enthusiasm. Then that is exactly what shall be done. Go at once, get the robe and my horse, and do just as you have suggested for Mordecai the Jew who sits at the king's gate. And do not neglect anything you have recommended.
Mordecai? But he is not a noble prince. It is required that a noble prince be chosen.
Yes, Haman, you are my most noble prince.
But I would be on the king's... You mean I would be walking? Now, if I'm walking and I'm with Mordecai... Mordecai on the king's steed?
Yes, I knew I could count on you to be enthusiastic, to give honor where honor is due.
Mordecai!
Many months ago, Mordecai overheard a plot against my life and had me warned. But in the confusion of the trial, I neglected to honor him. Last night, I couldn't sleep, so I had the book of Chronicles read to me. Otherwise, I might never have remembered to honor his brave deed. What was that urgent matter you wished to discuss with me?
It was nothing.
I see. I can wait then. Very good.
Oh, they should be here any time now. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Anytime. Has the gallows been completed? Yes. Oh, yes. You know, why don't you take your drinks to the viewing stand? You can have a better view there. Make sure everything's ready and that everybody has enough wine. We haven't had a hanging in so long. Where is Haman? He comes alone. Where are the guards? Haman, you are downcast. Why is your head covered, Haman? Where is Mordecai? What's happening, Haman?
This is the worst day of my life. Never have I been so humiliated. All of my plans are a shambles.
Quick, fetch your master a drink. Can't you see he needs something strong? Haman, yesterday you were on top of the world. Do sit down, dear. Tell us, please, what's wrong.
From the very start of this cursed day, I've been the butt of some cruel joke. The gods have been against me.
You're not making any sense. Snap out of it. Where is Mordecai?
He's probably dining with the king. And he's wearing the robe that was meant for me. And I had to put it on him. And then I had to parade him through the streets, declaring how much the king loves and trusts him.
Mordecai? Why would the king honor Mordecai? What a foolish thing to do.
Something about saving his life months ago. All the ridiculous things.
And you were going to hang him! You idiot! So much for your marvelous plan to be rid of him. Oh.
My plan? My plan? Whose idea was it to build these enormous gallows? Whose idea was it that we contrived this plan against Mordecai? I should have never listened to you, woman! If I had waited out my own plan, he would have died with the rest of those filthy vermin.
My lord, with Mordecai so highly esteemed, surely you will plead the cause of the Jews, and you will have the king's ear.
Haman could be in big trouble this time. It could be his neck. When the king finds out that it was the plot to kill the Jews, he'll surely be enraged.
No. The king adores Haman. This is all a big misunderstanding. Why, this very evening, Haman is dining with the king at the queen's request. Everything's fine.
No, he's right. This is not just a misunderstanding. This is not just a terrible day. I am in grave danger. I must flee.
Haman!
Master, the royal guards are here to escort you to the palace.
Haman?
Esther, my queen, the time has come. What is your request? It shall be given to you, up to half my kingdom.
If I have found favor with you, my king, and if it pleases your majesty, grant me my life. This is my petition. And spare my people. This is my request. For we have been sold for destruction and slaughter and annihilation. If we had merely been sold as slaves, I would have kept quiet, because no such distress would justify disturbing my lord the king.
What? And who would do such a thing?
The enemy, an adversary, is this vile Haman.
What? My lord, do not listen to this woman. I am being framed. Haman. There must be some mistake.
Haman!
My queen, there has been a mistake. I've been under evil counsel from my wife and friends. I've been under a lot of stress. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I had no idea you were a Jewess. I only wanted to be rid of that cursed Mordecai.
Mordecai is my father.
Your father? Oh, the gods are against me. Oh, my queen, you are a woman of mercy and understanding.
Will he even molest the queen while she is with me?
My lord.
Harbona!
There has been a mistake.
Remove this traitor from my sight. Destroy him.
Sire, there is a gallows 50 cubits high standing in Haman's yard. He had it built to hang Mordecai on. He spoke up to help the king.
Hang him on it.
My lord.
Harbona, get my ring off Haman's finger.
There's been a mistake.
I trusted you. Guards, remove him.
No.
I'm so sorry for the heartache you and your people have suffered. I had no idea Haman was so devious and murderous. But he is gone now. Will you forgive me?
Of course I do. I knew you could never have been part of such an evil plot. I know you have a good heart.
I want you to have Haman's estate.
What?
You know, it's really grand. He had acquired land and possessions, servants, and thriving businesses that were run by his 10 sons, all as evil as he was. But they are gone now, and we are rid of Haman's influence forever.
All that I have is here with you. Whatever would I do with such a gift?
Whatever you wish. Whatever would please the queen. Or perhaps your father Mordecai could manage it.
Yes. Perfect. I would love to present such a gift to him. Do you know that he took me in as a baby when my parents died and raised me as his own? He was my only living relative, my uncle's son.
A remarkable man. Harbona,
Yes, my lord.
Please get Mordecai for me.
As you wish. Did he say, please? Oh.
I had no idea that a woman so beautiful and desirable could have such wisdom. And you never throw my foolish mistakes back in my face.
Well, you are the king. You could have me beheaded for such insolence.
And such wit, too. But Esther, your kindness, it's legendary. I have never heard one negative remark, only praise for you.
Why would anyone speak to the king about his queen in an unseemly manner?
You'd be surprised. My eunuchs provide quite a network of spies. They seem to hear and know all the gossip. They are aware of the emotional climate, general tenor around here, and they keep me well informed. Believe me, when I say that you are the most highly esteemed person in the palace, I dare say in the whole kingdom.
My lord, I could never take the credit. I was well trained. My father invested much time and energy into me.
Hello, my friend. I owe you my life, and now a nation of people has you to thank for their lives.
Your Majesty, the edict is still in effect.
The edict?
Yes, sire. Haman had it sent into the entire kingdom to annihilate the Jews on the 13th day of the month Adar.
Here's my ring. I trust you to do whatever is necessary to make it right.
Thank you, Your Majesty. If only a new edict could be written allowing the Jews to defend themselves, at least it would make for a fair battle.
Wonderful. Mordecai, your wisdom and loyalty have proven themselves over and over. I like to surround myself with men of your character. It has just occurred to me that you would be the logical replacement for the position of Grand Vizier. Would you consider serving in that capacity, working with my 7 advisors?
I would be most honored to accept. And I would not take such a position lightly. But I would work for my entire life to prove myself worthy of such an honor.
I believe the Queen has a gift for you as well.
Father, my husband has entrusted the affairs and estate of Haman to me. I wish to give them over to you. I can think of no one more deserving or capable of handling such a responsibility. Your wisdom and generosity will surely make something even grander of what Haman began.
God has been faithful to me.
Harbona, gather the people. I wish to address them.
Peoples of the world, hear ye, come ye before the great king, Xerxes! Come one, come all, ye peoples of the world!
People of the city, I have news this day. God has been so faithful. To him I owe my all. His principles have led me. Without them I would fall. And he searches for the ones who will obey. He directs our path when we give him our way. I'm so proud of my daughter who trusted in her heart that God himself would guide her to the end right from the start. How many of us would brave the test the way that Esther has? She risked her life for her people, now we're saved by God's own hand.
Peoples of the world, hear ye, hear ye! Come ye before the great king, Xerxes! Come one, come all, ye peoples of the world!
I have news this day. Haman is gone, and I have found a man that I can trust. His name is well known to you all. His honor precedes him. To take Haman's place, please welcome him now. The Lord Mordecai. For great and small, his bravery is matchless. He cared enough for me to save my life.